Jackson Tate with the UWFFL update. The Division II National Championship game is in the books. Which team is headed to the Premier League and which is headed to the Promotion Bowl? The Florida Geckos and the Iowa Corn do battle. We'll have the results. Also, the Premier League starts their postseason. The Continental League gets ready for the postseason, and we'll have La Lega and Union Cup news. It's all on the UWFFL update, which starts now. Hello everybody, this is Jackson Tate with the UWFFL update. And so the big game that everybody is talking about, it is the Division II National Championship game between the Florida Geckos and the Iowa Corn. Let's go to Philadelphia for the results. Of course, this is the Geckos' second appearance in the National Championship game. This is the third National Championship game we've had in the UWFFL, and in the first one in 2013, well, in February 2014, after the 2013 season, the Florida Geckos lost to the Anchorage Orcas. And for the Iowa Corn, this is their first appearance in the Division II National Championship game. Now, the loser of this game will head to the Promotion Bowl and take on the winner of the third place game, which was played earlier. And we will have results of that game later on. But for now, let's take a look at the Division II National Champ. Was that the mousetrap? Henry, did you just set off the mousetrap? So this is the Geckos' second appearance in the National Championship. Henry, get away from the mousetrap! So these two teams did battle. It was a great game, and the final score was Florida 29, Iowa 24. So the Florida Geckos will finally make it to the Premier League in their third season in the minors. After the third season in Division II, they will now be headed to the Premier League. As for the Iowa Corn, they will be headed to San Juan to the Promotion Bowl, and we'll see who they will face when we check out the results of the third place game between Steel City and Yellowknife, and we'll check that out later on the UWFFL update. For now, let's head to the Premier League, and it's the wild card playoffs. And so the road to UWFFL Bowl 16 got underway with two wildcard games. It was the Vancouver Seawolves taking on the Hartford Whalers, and the Minnesota Mustangs taking on the Motor City Drive. So let's head to... where were these games played? The wildcard games were played in... I don't know where they were played. Somewhere in the Midwest. I know the divisional games, or the two semifinals, are going to be played in Kansas City and Oklahoma City. I believe the wildcard games were played in Wichita and Oklahoma City. So we don't even know now. But Vancouver and Hartford, I believe they played in Wichita. So let's go to Wichita and check out that game. And Vancouver wins it 17-7. And for the other wildcard game, we're going to head, I guess it's to Oklahoma City, is where Minnesota and Motor City played. Of course, Minnesota has defeated the Detroit Demons in the last two UWFFL playoffs. And way back in 2001, they also defeated. So they're 3-0 against Detroit going into this game. And let's take a look at the final. It was Motor City with the upset 27-24 in overtime over the Minnesota Mustangs. So in the next round, as the lower seed advancing, Motor City will play Little Rock and Vancouver will play Anchorage. So that's Motor City and Little Rock and Vancouver and Anchorage in the semifinals. Now, speaking of Anchorage, we also got some other breaking news. The UWFFL Bowl 15 champion Anchorage Orcas returning back to their home field in the fall. Right now, of course, we're playing all these games in the bubble sites here in the 2020 fall simulation, which is going on, I guess, in some dimension here in June 2021. But in the fall, they will be returning to their home site. The Anchorage Orcas doing some renovations on their stadium, completed the renovations, and they're releasing their new field. We got a look at it. A flyby was released to the media, and so let's go to Anchorage and take a look at this field. And so take a look there at the, you see the blue turf, the Smurf turf, like, similar to the Boise State Broncos have. It's something to do with you got polar bears and deer and all kinds of animals that don't crap on the green field, I guess, or they don't crap on the blue field. I'm not sure what the deal is. It's in the north, in the Arctic Circle. Of course, it's a very unique environment, and Anchorage was given they did some renovations, of course, upon being promoted to the Premier League in 2014. They had a deadline. They had to get the capacity up to 30,000 or whatever it is for the Premier League, and now they're releasing a new field there. You see the XV for the star, I guess, for the designating their UWFFL Bowl championship. This is Anchorage Field at Anchorage Stadium, where the Orcas will be returning to play, perhaps as two-time UWFFL Bowl champions. They're sitting there with the 2 seed, going up against Little Rock with the 1 seed in possibly on a collision course. Of course, you've got the winners, Motor City, and whatever I just said, the other team that just won, Vancouver. The Vancouver Seawolves and Motor City will join Anchorage and Little Rock in the semifinal round, and we'll have that coverage next in the next update of the UWFFL. When we come back on the UWFFL update, we will take a look at the Continental League.
We ain't got much time for to be going Crinkle's plans. This kindicator has some ugly-some plans in store and liable to hurt more folk.
Yar, we be needing an antidote to this bellicose buffoon's black-hearted brand.
Well,
why are you counting in the air like that, Drew?
I'm trying to figure out what was just said. What the patter is saying, we need something to counteract Clown's mind control cereal. Well, he did say there's something which could overpower his sugar, Crinkles.
Speak up, me nipper. Ye be needing to reverse your knave's folly.
Mr. Paisley, we was talking. We haven't time for your stories. Tell us or I make you regret helping Clown. Yes, ma'am. He says if you get a brace of Newfoundland... Oh no, Bobber, you ain't told us and we need to find this flaget on account of what you know.
No.
What?
He's gone, y'all. He's dead.
Do you think he meant what? Do you think he meant what?
We're going to need to find some of that Newfoundland chalk. Oh, kiss the gunner's daughter. Where we be finding this Newfoundland chalk?
And how will we find Dastardly Clown? I have an idea for both and it's going to take some miracles.
Just like the miracle of a well-balanced presence, what you can get from my murder-covered rice bumps. Sugar Crinkles. It's the taste too.
Shut up, Crinkles.
This is Goose for the finest fish market this side of the Pamlico Sound. Kingman's Fish Market. Kingman's known round this fair land for the best quality fish for the best prices. Don't be getting momoked by them dingbatter fish markets who are nothing but middlemen, want only what's right for them and not caring about you and me. So head on up to or down the waterside to the best fish market round these parts. Kingman's Fish Market, now located up in Oregon Inlet. Kingman's is located in Anchorage, San Francisco, and now Oregon Inlet, North Carolina. So what's that smell? It's Kingman's Fish Market. Hoit hoit on the sound side.
We are back on the UWFFL update. This is Jackson Tate. In a minute, we're going to have updates from the Continental League and the Union Cup. But first, we've got news breaking out of La Lega. They have decided to cancel the 2021 La Lega season. Now, I guess they just ran out of time here, so we decide we're just going to go ahead and start the next La Lega season in October with the 2021-2022 season. Of course, the La Lega season runs a couple months later than the fall start of the rest of the UWFFL, so the next World Bowl will be World Bowl 2022 at the end of this upcoming season. So what that means is that we will go with the final standings from the 2015 season, and we are going to expand to 24 teams in the fall. And this is the other part of the announcement. They are going to announce 4 expansion cities which will be eligible to be adopted by GSL owners. Now, Curtis and Drew and Rob are not eligible, as well as the gentleman that's taking over the Rome franchise. We're not going to let him get a second one, but for the other GSL owners, we have 4 cities which we are awarding La Lega franchises to, and it'll be first come, first serve, and there's going to be a thread that you can adopt these cities. Now, there are no colors or team nicknames. Nothing has been decided except for the city, so it is entirely up to you. It is a blank slate, and of course there are uniform considerations with La Lega, which we will expand upon in that forum thread, so check that out. But here are the 4 cities, first come, first serve. From the time you're hearing this, get on into the GSL forum, the UWFFL forum, and look for the thread La Lega Expansion 2021. And these are the 4 cities we're expanding to 24 teams, 6-team divisions, geographically balanced. And so we will enter these teams in the Union Cup. The 4 expansion teams will get the first 4, the earliest spots, and then based on how they finished. Now, the number 1 spot, this also means that the 2015 World Cup champion, that the 2015 World Bowl champion New York Sharks will again return to the Champions League, and they will get the La Lega spot in the 2021 Champions League. And teams 2 through 20 will qualify for the Union Cup based on how they finished in 2015. But for spots 21 through 24, it will be the following 4 cities, new expansion teams, to be awarded in the UWFFL Forum. And here they are. It is Paris, Cairo, Kathmandu, and Bangalore. That's Paris, Cairo, Kathmandu, and Bangalore. So for Austin and John and all the other GSL owners, there's 4 teams up for grabs. So go get them. Go grab these cities and design your La Lega expansion team. Okay, when we come back, we're going to take a look at the Continental League. You're listening to the UWFFL Update. We are back on the UWFFL Update. It's time to take a look at the Continental League standings. We're going into the 9th game here. There are 3 games left. After 8 games, the standings in the Continental League are Miami and Oklahoma are at 7-1. We've got Tampa, Connecticut, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Texas, and Dallas at 5-3. And then we've got 4 teams at 1-7. Now, of those 6 teams that are at 5-3, only 4 of them will make the playoffs. You got the top 6 making the playoffs, and looking like Miami and Oklahoma City will get in. So it's a big logjam for the 4 wildcard spots. We've got 6 teams at 5-3, trying to get those final 2 spots. So let's go to the scores. It was Dallas defeating Nashville, Tampa over Texas, and Oklahoma City over Augusta. Connecticut defeated Pittsburgh, Chicago defeated Austin, and Phoenix upset Miami. So that's the second loss for the Miami Cougars. And now we'll go on to Game 10. We've got Tampa defeating Nashville. We've got Texas defeating Augusta. And Oklahoma City defeated Dallas. And in the other 3 games, Pittsburgh defeated Austin, Miami defeated Chicago, and Connecticut defeated Phoenix. So after 10 games, we've got 1 game left, and let's take a look at the standings now after 10 games. Oklahoma City Super Beasts are on top at 9-1. You've got Miami at 8-2, Tampa and Connecticut at 7-3. Phoenix, Texas, Pittsburgh, and Dallas are at 6-4, so we've still got a 4-way tie for the last 2 spots as of now. Tampa and Connecticut have moved ahead of the logjam a little bit, and we will take a look at the playoff permutations. And as we go down the rest of the standings, Chicago's at 2-8, and you've got Nashville, Augusta, and Austin at 1-9. So the Week 11 games got Nashville playing Augusta, Dallas playing Texas, Tampa playing Oklahoma City, Pittsburgh playing Miami, Chicago playing Connecticut, and Phoenix playing Austin. So if you look at the top of the standings, Oklahoma City and Miami are sitting there at 9-1 and 8-2. If Oklahoma City were to lose and Miami were to win, it would go to a tiebreaker, and Miami defeated Oklahoma City in Game 6. So if they wind up tied, if Oklahoma City loses to Tampa and Miami defeats Pittsburgh, then they will be tied at 9-2, and Miami will be the number 1 seed. Otherwise, a Miami loss or an Oklahoma City win, and Oklahoma City would clinch the number 1 seed. And then next you've got Tampa and Connecticut, Phoenix, Texas, Pittsburgh, and Dallas, all at 7 or 6 wins, fighting for those last 4 playoff spots. So if Tampa or Connecticut win, they will get in. And then for Phoenix, Texas, Pittsburgh, and Dallas, they need some help. And we'll run out all of the permutations here in a minute. Well, shit, I gotta do all the tiebreakers then, I guess. Alright, so how many games involve these 3 teams? Or 4. Alright, well, I guess I need to get pen and paper. Excuse us while we take this brief musical interlude. We know that Tampa has the tiebreaker over Connecticut. Okay, so Tampa beat Texas and Connecticut. We know that Tampa has the tiebreaker over Connecticut. So Tampa wins, they get the 3 seed. Tampa, Connecticut, and Texas. Texas wins, they will be 7-4. So Texas and so Tampa beat Texas and Connecticut. That's good, I guess. Okay, so we know that Tampa has the tiebreaker over Connecticut. So Tampa wins, they get the 3 seed. Tampa, Connecticut, and Texas. Okay, so Tampa beat Texas and Connecticut. And Connecticut beat Texas, so it would be Tampa. Miami wins. We know Miami wins and Oklahoma City loses, so it's this one. And Connecticut wins, so it's this one. And Phoenix wins, so it's the top line here. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, so we look at the Week 11 games coming up. Dallas plays Texas, Tampa plays Oklahoma City, Pittsburgh plays Miami, Connecticut plays Chicago, Phoenix plays Austin. So now if Tampa wins, if Tampa wins, they go to 8-3, they clinch the 3 seed. And otherwise, they will be the 4 seed. Tampa and Connecticut have, I believe, clinched a playoff spot. Now, it gets a little tricky if we get into a tie at 7-4. If both Tampa and Connecticut lose, and then they get into a 3-way tie or a 4-way tie or a 5-way tie, then we have to go to the tiebreakers. Now, if it's Tampa, Connecticut, and Texas at 7-4, Tampa defeated both Connecticut and Texas, so they would be 3 seed. Connecticut defeated Texas, they would be the 4, and Texas would be the 5. But now if it's a 4-way tie with Tampa, Connecticut, Phoenix, and Texas, or Tampa, Connecticut, Pittsburgh, and Dallas, or Phoenix and Dallas, or Pittsburgh and Dallas, or a 5-way tie with all those teams, then we have to go to net points because one team did not sweep any of the others. So any of these permutations, any of these teams at 7-4 can make it. And I believe there is no opportunity for a team at 6-5 to make the playoffs other than, I believe, Phoenix. If Texas and Pittsburgh and Phoenix all lose, Phoenix would get the 6th seed at 6-5. Otherwise, it's going to take 7 wins to get into the playoffs. Tampa and Connecticut are at 7-3. I can't say that they've definitely clinched because there could be a 5-way tie or something where Phoenix and Dallas get in. It all depends on net points, and if that happens, then we will look that up. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes doing the math, and I can't really tell how it's going to break out, but it looks like right now Connecticut will be the 3 seed or the 4 seed if they win, or if Connecticut loses, they'll be the 3 seed. But you've got Tampa, Connecticut at 7-3, trying to get to 8-3, and then you've got 4 teams fighting for the last 2 spots: Phoenix, Texas, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. Of course, Texas and Dallas play each other. The loser of that game is definitely out. So the winner of that game is in with some help. If they win and they need at least one of Phoenix or Pittsburgh to lose, the winner of Texas and Dallas will get in. And so we will check back on that in the next episode. We'll have the Week 11 results. And so as for now, that's how the standings look. It is Oklahoma City 9-1, Miami 8-2, Tampa 7-3, Connecticut 7-3, Phoenix, Texas, Pittsburgh, and Dallas at 6-4, with the top 6 making the playoffs. Okay, we're going to go back to the Division 2 and take a look at that 3rd place game, plus Greg Dickman with the Union Cup Minute. We'll be back after this on the UWFFL Update.
Hey y'all, it's your buddy Jake Akbayani. That's right, Mr. Three Thumbs back again for Margot's High Class Palace. Since Margot's has opened up again, they have opened up their playbook of great things that they make for you. And right now, for a limited time, they have a 2-for-1 sale on those things called bow ties and ascots and cravats. You know, like that guy Fred, I guess, from Scooby-Doo. They're always fighting crime and those dastardly kids and what have you. Well, they're having a 2-for-1 sale on them. Not only do they make great bow ties and such, they also have tuxedos and get-ups for when you want to get gussied up and go out on the town. And since there have been more cases of the COVID come around, they still make face masks. They're like a cummerbund for your face, son. Margot's is an all-in-one stop for your haberdashery and scrubmongery needs. It's Margot's High Class Palace, and let them know that your buddy Jake Akbayani sent you.
There's one in every neighborhood, the family with the perfect yard. You see them out there every weekend. He's walking back and forth, fertilizing the grass. She's kneeling in front of her perfectly manicured flower bed. Their golden retriever lies in the shade of a beautiful tree with a tire swing on it. Now you can have the perfect yard and the time to enjoy it with Merrill Quality Landscape. They can design and create your space with everything from ponds and waterfalls to putting greens and outdoor kitchens. Call Merrill Quality Landscape today at 356-7508. merrilllandscaping.com.
We are back on the UWFFL Update. This is Jackson Tate, and now it's time to take a look at the Division 2 third place game. Let's head to Washington, D.C., And we've got, do we have somebody standing by with an update? No, we don't. We don't have anybody. Do we have anybody there? No, we don't. Okay, well then I guess we'll break it down. It's Pittsburgh and Yellowknife. I mean, Steel City, the Steel City Express from Pittsburgh against the Yellowknife Lumberjacks. The winner of this game will head to the Promotion Bowl and take on the Iowa Corn for the right to get that second promotion spot to the Premier League. And let's go to the final, and the final was Yellowknife 35, Steel City 26. That's Yellowknife 35, Steel City 26. So the Yellowknife Lumberjacks will take on the Iowa Corn, and the winner of that game, that'll be in the Promotion Bowl next week, and the winner of that game will head to the Premier League. And then, of course, in the other game, we've got Youngstown and San Diego in the Relegation Bowl. So those four teams will be headed to Puerto Rico next week, next week or tomorrow or in 3 days. I don't know when. We'll have that in the next episode of This Week with Drew Abernathy, I believe. And so now that that's set, it was a good year for Steel City, the first year under the Snellick ownership group, and they really had a strong season, the Eastern Association champions, and they will be back in the Eastern Association. And so now, in the next episode, we're going to have a breakdown of all the teams that will be returning to Division II. This will probably be in the next episode of the UWFFL update, and we will say how many expansion spots there will be open, and if any teams have a chance to play their way back in through the Union Cup, we'll break that down next episode of UWFFL Update. In the next episode of This Week with Drew Abernathy, he's going to have the results of the Promotion Bowl and the Relegation Bowl, and then we're also going to have the Week 11 in Continental League and the Divisional Playoffs in the Premier League as Motor City and Vancouver advanced to the semifinals, and they will be playing Little Rock and Anchorage. So now that about wraps it up, except for the Union Cup Minute, and now I'm going to turn it over to Greg Dickman. We got Greg Dickman live in the studio. Greg, I wanted to talk to you for a second.
Yeah?
That last update you did, it sounded a little funky. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add?
No.
All right then. Well, let's hit it. Union Cup update. Go for it.
This is Greg Dickman with the Union Cup Minute. We've got games in the preliminary round 2 as we take a look at the results. Wait for my computer to pop up here. Okay, and here are the results. Memphis upsets San Antonio 24-17. We've got the Portland Gamblers defeating the Brooklyn Mariners 23-16. It was Colorado over Indiana 31-7. The Wichita Arrows defeated the Jacksonville Rhinos 28-21. It was the Charlotte Swords defeating the Salt Lake City Spikes 36-27. The Houston Quasars defeated the Harrisburg Bulldogs 14-9. We've got the Montreal Machine defeating the New Orleans Lions 23-13. And we've got the Carolina Crescents defeating the what is that? It's hard to read with the blue on the orange. Oh, Orange County Surf. I knew that. The final score of that one was 35-3. So to wrap it up, these teams will all head to the preliminary round 3, and they will play each other. And the score is that there, what I just said, and that's your Union Cup update minute. The minute of the Union Cup, and we're gonna send it back to. No, I guess we're done. We're gonna wrap it up. That was your UWFFL update for Jackson Tate. This is Greg Dickman saying we'll see you next time.